Hi and welcome to another airport CEO tutorial. In the first two tutorials we went through setting up the airport CEO airport game, and then we went through the structures menu. Now we'll go through the infrastructure menu and all the items. In the infrastructure menu we are given some options. Under the generic option we can build public roads, service roads, sidewalks and crosswalks. So that's what we'll do next. So what I'll tend to recommend is to build a sort of a slip road here. In that way, trucks that come on the main road to deliver material here would sometimes hold up other traffic, such as buses that will come and drop off passengers for flights. Now, after playing this game for some time, I noticed that while trucks came to deliver things, they would hold up passengers, and then that would allow the flights to be delayed because the passengers have not arrived on time. So what I tend to do is to build a short slip road here, because it's more of a pain to move this. So just build a short slip road here to the main airport, and then we can have another road back down here. So to do that, we're going to select public road. One tile is one lane, and it doesn't really matter. It's not really a one way in the game. So I like to build with two tiles. So build out about there. Build out about there. Let's go down here. 4,000 was the number, I think. Alright. Oops. Okay, so now that we have built our road, we can then create sidewalks. But before we create sidewalks, let's put the bus stops in, because the bus stops sort of come with a sidewalk attached to it. So when we go here and we say let's put a bus stop here and another one there, we can then also put a car drop off. So we'll put one there. We'll just have these three for now, and we can then put in our sidewalk. So sidewalks are necessary, and it's necessary for passengers to be able to walk from one place to the next. Passengers won't walk across the grass. They'll tend to walk on sidewalks if they're available. Now, as we build up the game, when we build bus stops on the other side, we'll press R to rotate. We can then put in crosswalks. So I can demonstrate that. So let's put in two here, and then let's put in some sidewalks here and here. And then what we'll do is we'll put a crosswalk here and here. Now what will happen is that when buses come and drop off passengers, what it will do is that passengers will then walk along the sidewalk and use the crosswalks to get across. If there's no crosswalk, they will remain on this side. So you need to ensure that all your sidewalks, that go across roads have crosswalks, so that people can get across the road safely. Okay, so let's just put a car drop off here, press R to rotate, and that's it. Service roads are roads that are inside the airport, but once we build our runway and our stands, then we'll put in some service roads. Alright, so that covers the generic, and that mainly covers the transportation. Offload site and loading site, these are here, located here, which are already here, so we don't need to build these again. These are only available here if you'd like to move these to another area, but we're not doing that right now. Okay, next we can build bus shelters. So the game has weather, so when the bus stops are fully constructed, then we can put down bus shelters, because what we want to do is that we want to put the bus shelters in the area that's at the top of this bus stop here, that white line that goes across the top. What people do is that they congregate within that area, so if you have a bus shelter in that area, they will go under that bus shelter when it's raining. Okay, we also have checkpoints. So checkpoints are used to secure your airport. So what will happen is that if you'll need to have service roads that lead into the airport for trucks to deliver fuel to your fuel depot, and the checkpoint is the best way to secure your airport. By putting a checkpoint, it moves from the public road to the service road, right? So that's what the checkpoint's purpose is. Okay, so now we can build a small runway. Let's just build it at the top here, and we can use tarmac. So tarmac is a cosmetic feature. It just covers up the grass to sort of make the airport look a bit better. You'll see how we use that as we go along. Okay, so we can use Taxiway foundation. So Taxiway has 3 types of foundation. The cheapest is grass, but the grass doesn't support the heavier class aircraft, but this would be okay to start, because our small runway here right now, it is actually, when it's constructed, it is gonna be grass. We'll have the option to upgrade it at a later time. So Taxiways has grass, concrete and asphalt. Now the difference between concrete and asphalt is nothing really. They are both the same. The only difference is the look, because you can make your runway be asphalt or concrete. It doesn't really matter. It has the same durability based on what I've seen so far. After we build our taxiway foundation, we'll have to put in taxiway nodes. Now taxiway nodes is what the airlines use to know how to navigate the taxiway. We'll get to that further. And then we can build stands, and a small stand or a medium stand. Alright, so let's get on the way. So let's just build our taxiway foundation. Now a good size for taxiway foundation is 5, because then you'll have this middle one here. The third one will be in the middle, and the taxiway node will run right down the middle. So it's good to have a width of 5. Okay. Alright, so let's go across. Okay. Oh, this was more than 5. So let's, okay, so to delete something that you're currently building, if I click and then hold the control button, I'm just alternating pressing the control button there, it becomes a demolition tool for that particular item. So this won't delete anything else. So if I were to go over the runway and try to delete, it would not delete the runway, right? So it will only delete the taxiway, right? So that's a good demonstration there. Okay, so we've built a basic runway and a basic taxiway, but before we continue, I would like to create our stands. Now, small stands are outdoor stands. They are not directly connected to the terminal by jetway or anything like that. They are just stands out there. So you can see here. So if I press R to rotate, I can also press middle mouse button to rotate, right? Okay, so what I tend to do is that I'll tend to build my stands off the airport, just somewhere out, and then connect it to the main terminal building by sidewalks. So what I'll do here now is that I'll just build 4. So I'll leave a space of 5 in between, and that space will be used to build my taxiway. Okay. Alright. So when I'm finished there, I could actually, let's just delete this for a second. Yeah, I don't know if this is a bug, but that keeps there. But anyway, let's line up our taxiway here. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and then go back to my taxiway foundation and go there and do that. So now my runway is connected to my taxiways. Now if you were looking at the stand, the small stand, you will notice that there is a small stripe line there at the front. Now that is where the passengers would leave and leave the stand and go onto the sidewalk. So in order to build a way for them to get to the main terminal building, we need to build a sidewalk. So we go to sidewalk here, and 4 I think is a good number. It can be 2, but 4 I think is a good number. Now, I'm not gonna be too picky about where this goes. Okay, now I'll also build one on this side. Alright, yeah, I don't really care how it looks right now, but what I'll then do is then I'll go back to structures and I'll create a large door, rotate it by pressing R or middle mouse button, and I'll create my large door. So this now is now connected, so passengers who have then already checked in and are waiting on their flight will then be able to walk out on the sidewalk and go to the stand and board the plane. The plane will then be able to leave on the taxiway and take off. Alright, so that's that for the taxiways. Okay, so, well, not quite. So let's now connect our taxiways by connecting them here. So what we'll do is we'll click here and go to the middle here, go out and all the way to the runway. So this creates the navigation path for the let's go back on that there. Okay, I think this is a bug, and go here. Okay, so we then have our taxiway all connected. Okay, so a quick thing about taxiways. So in real life, moving onto the runway would need a holding spot for the plane to know where to hold based on instructions from the tower. So when we right click on the node for the taxiway, we then get the option to create a holding point. So when we create a holding point on the grass taxiway, it's just a stripe line, but on asphalt or concrete we actually see RWY ahead, which means runway ahead. We can then double click on this little section here to flip it over. So just keep that in mind as we go forward. Alright, so we created one for that side, and then I'm gonna go back on taxiway node Go right there. I'm going to create a holding point. So that way aircraft will hold until either the plane lands and clears the runway, or hold and wait until a plane takes off. Alright. Okay, so moving back to the infrastructure menu. Okay, so that's the small stand. The medium stand, it has a jetway connected, so this can go directly onto the building, but we'll just hold off on this for now until later. We'll start with four small stands. Sorry. All right. Moving to the next thing will be items, and this will be covered in the next tutorial. So tune in then. Thanks for watching.